Welcome back, everybody. We are here at the winner's match, and whoever wins this one will be advancing to the round of 8. But first, we got to get through it here through these introductions. Spawning in the top right corner of Overgrowth, representing Root, it is Hydra.
Hydra, of course, beaten a Supernova Terran pretty handedly against some mech and play to get here. And his opponent, 2-1 parting, pretty spectacular fashion himself. It is representing Axiom Esports, the Red Zerg player, Impact.
Well, it was bad, yeah. A little backwards, but you can tell the adrenaline.
Hydra beat Parting.
Parting and then Impact beat Supernova.
Supernova, my bad.
The funny thing is that, Parting in that last match with Hydra was probably about as long as your standard ZVZ, which is the matchup that we do have here for you. And it should be interesting. I think before the break I was talking about how I was like praising Impact ZVZ, but statistically it's actually his worst matchup. And for Hydra, that's actually his best matchup. But I mean, according to Aligulac, at least it was. I've been kind of going off of what I've been seeing, I guess, and then kind of, I guess, hyping it off of that. So we'll hope that he can show some really, really nice ZVZ here. Both of these players, right?
Yeah, we'll see as a spawning pool is just about to finish up for Impact as it does. One gas for him early on, and Hydra taking a little bit later of a gas. So we'll see, maybe a bit earlier speed out of Impact. Both of them pretty content to go hatch first, though. So pretty standard, nothing crazy just yet as Impact starts researching his speed. These two players pretty much proving the strength of Zerg as it comes to the tail end of Heart of the Swarm. Is alive and well, actually. So beating both races to get here. And like you said, you've been seeing a lot of Impact doing well in ZVZs lately, so let's hope he keeps up that record, as both are just doing your typical Zerg stuff, getting your queens out, going to start getting those injects and macroing up and doing the things that Zergs like to do in the first place. 2 lings on the way for Impact, probably going to get some scouting information that his overlords otherwise wouldn't be able to get.
Yeah, it's a really important part of ZVZ, just to kind of check in, seeing if there's a bailing nest, whether they're mining the gas. Sometimes you'll even see players pull out of gas, but it used to almost always be for the ling all-in, but sometimes you just take it out in order to get a few more drones out, maybe even get an earlier third, and it's a little bit more greedier because you're not going to be able to make as many banelings, but you're able to get that economy going. Whereas you'll see other players stay in gas and then go for an even faster layer. And I guess the greedy part of that would be to just go for the layer without getting the baneling nester. Like, there's so many corners you can cut that you probably shouldn't, but in that pro level, that's sometimes something that you have to do in order to get that edge, no matter what.
Yeah, and a Roach Warren coming down for Hydra. That's the edge he's trying to get a hang of, is a little bit of a tech advantage in that respect as he goes ahead and take a third here. Impact still staying on 2, and he doesn't seem to be sending a drone over to get his third. Instead, he's going to go ahead and take in 2 gases at home, as well as layer almost finishing up for him. It is about 50 seconds away from completing, so it's going to be much earlier than his opponent, Hydra, who's just now starting layer. 14 lings on the way for Hydra, as well as speed just about to finish up. So Roach Warren going down for Impact not too long ago as well. Looking to be a very similar matchup thus far.
Yeah, this is a little interesting, though. You usually won't see this many links coming out just for no reason. He's just pulling them out. I think he's going to try to check to see if there was a third and maybe cancel it, but there is no third there, and he's going to try to get some damage done here. The wall is open, though, and there's nothing here. There's nothing here for Impact at all.
God, the lings.
2 queens.
The lings flooding in, getting 1 queen almost as early as they come inside. Going right to work on the second one as the drones are...
Whoa. I don't know if we lost you or did we lose me. But however, okay, it looks like I got a bit of a... Oh, Tyrannus! No! I don't know if I'm still live, but if I am, looks like we may have lost Tyrannus here. It's a very, very crazy point of the game, of course, as all the lings are inside of the natural of Impact. But for Impact, he has 12 roaches on the way, as you can see in the production tab. And Hydra's continuing here with the lings. Wow. I think he may have crashed because he did crash from the Skype too. So, bit of an unfortunate situation, and Saber doing his trademark Saber face. You never actually know what emotion it portrays at all. But I figure that Saber is just like a gigantic stick figure that has that face on him the whole time, no matter what. Uh-oh, but the game is back on. A little bit of a dicey situation as Impact is trying. He's going to use some old micro so that they do focus down on the roaches. But a few more Lings are getting inside of the main of Impact. But he's holding on pretty strong here. He had made a lot of drones before. So even though he took a lot of this damage, he has 40 drones to the 39 of Hydra. However, Hydra has a third base already down. And I think the biggest difference here is that even though they have even supply, it is really the roach count. Excuse me, 11 roaches to the 20. So the army value of Impact is better quality. But of course, Hydra using his Lings so well. I mean, usually when the roaches are out, it's so hard to find a use for them Lings, but they do come out. And they will get another queen here, which will stop the production if these drones aren't able to. Nope, they're not going to be able to do that stop micro. A little bit of some cute micro you can do in order to force the Lings to do something. They'll just stand there pretty much as they try to attack the queen but can't get to it. And Impact is holding this really well. Just that the fact that he's dealing with this now allows Hydra to kind of chill at home and figure out how he is going to defend a potential counterattack that could be coming here from Impact. And I think that Hydra's answer was to use the Lings, but he doesn't have them anymore. And now he just has to kind of hang out. He has a one spine crawler, I believe, that is going to waddle its way over to the third base. And we are seeing nothing but units so far out of Hydra, as he does manage to secure an 11 drone lead. After all of that, he has the third base, he has an 11 drone lead. And I think he even has roach speed. Yeah, he has roach speed too. So his only disadvantage is that he doesn't have the upgrade, the +1 upgrade just yet, but it will be done very, very soon. Impact a little bit more behind, trying to secure his own third base. Didn't even get any counter damage done because he didn't have the potential. He didn't have the, I would say, the tools to do so. He skipped on the Zergling speed, went straight for the roaches, and that's that kind of greed that we were talking about. He didn't want to make a bunch of Lings there because then he would have not been able to really make use of them if the Lings mobility of the Hydra's Lings would have kind of just made them dance around in circles. So that was really, really nicely done by Hydra. I haven't seen something super crazy like that, and even just a little bit of a wall from Impact would have been able to prevent that, or at least slow it down for the roaches to come out. But as it is right now, Hydra already going for an attack. Like, he has +1 done and is going for a timing himself. I don't know if you want to call it a timing, but it looks like a timing where Impact would like to be droning. And I mean, this may just be too much, man. I think that Impact doesn't have enough with the Lings coming from the back. It's just going to be too much, and Hydra takes game number 1. All right. Welcome back here to game number 2 of the winner's match of the ASL Prime League Season 4, and here we go. Getting right into the swing of things is doing a 10 pool, representing Team Axiom. Down 1 game, hoping to bring it back. It is Impact.
And in the bottom left-hand corner on Expedition Lost, representing Root Gaming, currently up 1-0, trying to get ahead and get qualified for that quarterfinal bracket. It is your Red Zerg player, Hydra.
So, Hydra here has essentially, quote-unquote, blind countered what it is that Impact is doing. Because the Lings, by the time they do get over to the base of Hydra, Hydra decided to go for a 14 pool himself and then into the hatchery. So, not like Overgrowth where they kind of both went for the hatchery first. He's going to play it safe here, and, why not? And I always wonder sometimes, like, do you play it safe or do you play it greedy when you're ahead? Like, you have 1 game to give. Sometimes you can go kind of crazy with it. But playing safe is usually the best choice.
And, of course, you're putting the pressure on your opponent here. So Impact down 1-0 has to make something happen here. But, Ling's on the way for Hydra as well, and they're going to spawn here relatively shortly. 8 of them. I'm going to go out and basically deny the denial of the second, as it were. He's pulling drones as well, just to give him a little bit of extra oomph and really clamp down on any sort of extra harassment. And this is a good idea because now you might be able to keep your Lings alive as well. You're not just going to trade unit for unit. And you might be losing a little bit of extra mining time, but it's worth it to keep that natural alive. And especially considering what you're saying, do you just play it a little bit safe, or do you go, for something crazy? And the Hydra definitely making sure that he plays it safe and keeps his units alive. Actually, though, Lings from Impact might. Okay, now there's a little hair there for a little bit. It seemed like.
I was thinking the same thing too, but you know, when you pull drones off of the line in that situation, you have to take into account that it's a 10 pull versus like a 14 or 15 pull. So you have those drones to actually spare. And if you allow your hatchery to complete, then once again, you're ahead. So as long as Hydra doesn't overreact and maybe is able to get a little bit of scouting to see what's on the way, because you don't know what's on the way here. You have to use your overlord to see the timing of the hatchery if it goes down. But if it doesn't go down, then you know, it kind of gives it all away. And I think that Impact knows that as well.
Yeah, and
may even only use it for larva too.
Yeah, that is.
Oh, you might not use it for anything.
It's getting denied here by these five lings as they make their way into the natural and now the main. And he is going to get a good, decent scout around with these 4 lings now, and he's going to get 1 drone kill. Not another one. That's going to be about it. But I mean, for what it's worth, sacrificing that many lings to deny the natural for that long, it's huge because his natural's up and running and he's comfortable and he's creating drones as opposed to lings. He doesn't have speed just yet, but he's got a spine crawler and 2 queens and his creep is on the way. So it seems like Hydra's in a really comfortable position right now.
Yeah, he's definitely feeling it here, and it's looking like he's just going to defend against it with Gasolus. And it's a good way to deal with it if you continue to make queens, and I think he is. He's making a 3rd one. But with that spine crawler, he's going to be able to deal with the first wave. And depending on what Impact decides to do from here, he's going to be feeling a lot of pressure in the sense of needing to get something done, needing to find out what's going on, because he doesn't even know if Hydra's going for the gases or what time that he was going to do it at. So he's pretty much playing in the dark. He's playing very blindly right now, Impact is.
Yeah, and it's never good. There's never a situation where playing blind makes you feel comfortable, you know. So he's of course feeling this a little bit of added stress from that, just as a player, not even in terms of how it's shown through in his gameplay. I bet you psychologically he probably is a little bit worried right now, and rightfully so, yeah. Just like you were saying. And you know, just as we were going by how Hydra can play this, he's playing it perfectly safe. He's walled up. He doesn't see that these rocks are getting taken out here by this ling. But as I say that, he's moving an observer, maybe into or an overlord rather, maybe into position to do just that. Nope, now it's just stopped. So he might not see this, and there might be a little bit of pressure that Axiom's Impact can get done. But really, how much would he need to get done in order to swing this game back into his favor?
Oh, he'll need to do a lot, you know, maybe even catching Hydra over droning at some point, but I don't even know what kind of push that he could do in order to do that. The fact that he is going for the lair, Impact is, Hydra's already had his, it's about halfway done. So if he's going to try to mirror what it is that Hydra's doing, he's going to be behind. Roach versus Roach Wars always goes in the favor of the person that's with the more stuff and, you know, the concave in most cases. But usually when it's with that first push, it's all about the count. And I guess you could talk about upgrades as well. But, you know, I just don't know if Impact is going to be able to have enough. If he's going to try to do the same thing and the same kind of Roach play here, it's just that Hydra's doing everything. He's just ahead. And Impact is going to be in trouble if he tries to go that route, I think.
And in fact, he's going to move out here with these roaches, taking the gold as well, it seems. So it is going to be scouted, but I mean, he's waiting for 4 more roaches on the way, as well as roach speed. 5 roaches in production for Impact is the response. I don't know if he's finished taking down those rocks yet in the main. Nope, they're still working on it, but maybe he's going to be able to do some damage once the roaches have made their way across the map to try and get done some damage here. They're trying to work on these rocks. You know what? And that was just enough for Impact to maybe buy some time to see if he can get something done here. These 4 lings are now awaiting orders from Axiom Impact to get, you know, to see what the next move is. Of course, Impact knows about the 3rd being taken at the gold. And he's got his lings up here in the main. But I mean, like, where do you go with that? Okay, he's taking his own. He's 3rd at the gold. That's the response.
That's where you go with it, Tyrannus. Yeah. You just take one of your own. This is one of the most ballsiest things I've seen.
Yeah.
In quite a bit. I mean, even going for that crazy cannon rest that Parting did may be on par. But, like, you know, this is really, like I said, trying to do the same thing that your opponent is doing.
Cancel it.
After. Yeah, it's just, I'm not trying to, like, shut it down what Impact is doing, but this is just... It's just not going to work. He doesn't have a spine crawler at home either. His speed is only halfway done. His +1 is only halfway done. He's just trying to mimic what it is that Hydra is. And, you know, I feel like Hydra's in a great position. He doesn't even have to attack, and he will eventually still be ahead all game. But he's going to take advantage of each timing that he has, I assume. And while taking this base, he can go and test the waters, see if Impact is trying to overdrone just to get back. Because that's one thing you can do to get back into the game by just droning, like a madman and not really paying attention to any kind of timing that can hit you. But
Yeah, one thing
I'm very worried for Impact right now.
Yeah, one thing that I saw, Hydra's Overlord actually spotted the hatchery at the other third location, and right now he's sending a big group of roaches out there, and he's going to catch Impact's roaches out of position as they start to make their way across the map, so this is going to be absolutely denied. And honestly, this is a bit like a Terran vs. Terran where you just kind of siege up and deny third expansion for as long as you can and make it work, but the Concave, it's a fight going down. Impact is getting surrounded here, now he's trying to work into the bulk of this army here, but I don't think it's going to go in his favor. He doesn't have enough roaches.
He doesn't even have the upgrade either.
Oh man, he's getting
upgrade advantage, numbers advantage. And there he goes, Hydra, your first player here to go into the round of 8. As he takes a very nice win over Impact.